about that. I don't have a lot of slides to go through. I'll talk about them, and then we can open everything up for questions. Okay. So let's start it out by cybersecurity degrees or training is what we're talking about today. Debbie, can I get the next slide? Okay, so what is cybersecurity? I think I'm judging by the names and things like that. I'm pretty sure you all kind of know what cybersecurity is. So I provided a definition of it, but basically it's not just hacker prevention. Okay, it's protecting your data from everything, from natural disasters to insider threats from employees to the bad guys, the hackers, and things of that nature. It deals with protecting your data and your hardware from theft, protecting your hardware, data, and your software from any damage, such as corruptions or loss of power or anything like that. And in the cyber security field, everything seems to run back to the what we refer to as the CIA triangle of confidentiality, keeping your information, integrity, keeping your information accurate, and availability, making sure that your information is available when you are ready for it. Debbie, next slide. So why do you want to be a cyber professional? Well, I can tell you right now, it's just a great way to do things. It's a career field that is expanding. It's a career field that on the near horizon, they're predicting by the year 2021, and folks, that's only 3 years from now, about 3.5 million unfulfilled security jobs throughout the world. Okay. In the Metro St. Louis and between Missouri and Illinois alone, we have something like 200,000 job vacancies. And between the schools that provide training and education and certifications, it's just very hard for us to pump enough out to keep up with everybody. What I like to tell my classes is, just about everybody's business nowadays deals somewhere with a computer and automation, and a vast majority of them are connected to the internet. And if you're connected to the internet, you're automatically putting yourself out there for vulnerabilities in the Wild Wild West. We like to refer to it as Wild Wild West. So there's areas that you can work on that you can work in technical areas. You can write policies. You can be part of the management team. So the field is pretty much wide open. It's a great career path for the future. The money's pretty good. Typically, we'll get paid a little bit more than an IT counterpart. So you just have to ask yourself what path you want to take and where do you want to be in 5, 10, or 15 years. Debbie, next slide. So a question that myself and my colleagues get asked an awful lot by students is, well, what do we need? Do we need training or we need education? Well, I'm gonna spoil it by saying, well, eventually you're going to need both. But let me explain that. And training is something you go through when you want to get a certification, or you want to learn a specific type of router or a specific type of software or a specific type of hardware server or anything like that. Whereas education is more undertaking the hopes of learning knowledge and developing your intellect. So it's more about knowing. It's getting some maybe a certificate in something like what we have in cybersecurity threat detection, where you've got some education in it and you know enough that you can go out and continue to provide. Now, generally speaking, major universities do not do training as their primary. Webster doesn't do it as its primary. However, a lot of the community colleges and junior colleges around the nation provide tremendous training, as well as professional organizations that conduct training for specialized programs. So the bottom line is you will always be needing to advance your knowledge. Just because you get a degree or just because you get a certification doesn't mean that you get to stop learning. It just means that you have proven to somebody that you have learned something, and that you're teachable and trainable. And again, I'd like to say eventually, as your career progresses, you're probably going to need some kind of a combination of both training and education. Debbie, next slide. So, along with that, Webster University began our program in 2014 with our master's degree in cybersecurity, and we also have one certification program which will be updating with our next catalog, and we'll actually have two. Those will be modified quite a bit. But if you're, for those of us that are interested in taking a master's degree, uh, uh, this is typically somebody who you obviously already have a bachelor's degree. You're working in the career field. You've probably got some IT background. Uh, you manage people. You lead people. You lead teams, and what the masters in cybersecurity will do will help expand that and get you thinking about things from a cybersecurity perspective. I like to use the phrase you're an optimistic paranoid. Okay, you're optimistic in the fact that you hope that you can solve the world's cybersecurity problems, but you're also paranoid enough to know that you probably won't. Now, the purpose of training and certificates, again, that's the 8570. The DoD requires 8570 certifications. That's Security Plus, that's CISSP, that's CISM, uh, uh, and uh, and that those certifications again train you about certain technical skills for that particular certification. Okay. Um, Next slide, Debbie. Now here at Webster, like I say, in 2014 we started our master's degree program, and we have in 2016 or 2017, we began we have a bachelor's degree in computer science with an emphasis in cybersecurity. So we're delving into that as well. But our programs, we think, prepare students and professionals for some demanding positions. We've got some students that have come through our programs that have gone on and got some very important jobs, or they've advanced their degrees, or maybe got to move up the food chain in the company that they work for. Okay, but it's information protection, some terrorism and cyber fraud things, and digital forensics. We have a police officer that teaches our digital forensics classes. So that's a little bit about the Webster's programs themselves. We have about 15 or 20 different face-to-face campuses throughout the United States, mostly either a metro or a military-related campus. And we also, all of our programs and all of our courses are currently offered online. So you can get them online, or you can get them in face-to-face. Debbie, can I have the next slide? So since this presentation talks about both training um, and degrees, let me go over with you. I went out and looked up what were the 10 best certifications that the industry is having now, and they're loaded from number 10, doing the old top 10 list. Okay, number 10 is the Six Sigma Green Belt. So For those of you that are not familiar with that, that's basically an information technology improvement project team leader. Another good one is certified ethical hacker. That's where you can work in network and data security tester. These people who get this are often called white hat hackers. You learn all the tools and all the techniques that the bad guys, the bad gals have, but you're going to use them in a way to help protect companies. There's a certified Scrum Master, and if you're familiar with the Six Sigma Green Belt IT improvement projects or IT project management at all, you'll understand what a Scrum Master is. They're typically a project management team leader who hosts weekly meetings and make sure everything's on track. And then number 7 is a certified information security manager. I kind of mentioned them earlier. That's the security management, and without it quite being at the level of the CISSP, but it's more, for maybe somebody who's already a senior manager in a company that wants to get a certification or needs to get a certification for some reason. Number 6 is risk and information systems control. So you can actually get a certificate in how to manage risk and do risk assessments and mitigations and things of that nature. So that's a good one. The one I'm the most familiar with is a Certified Information Systems Security Professional, or the CISSP. That pretty much covers just about everything cyber. I think there's like 7 or 8 domains that you have to test through. It's a level. For the 8570 folks, it's a level 2, level 3 certification. Then number 4 is the Amazon Web Services. That's what the AWS stands for, is Amazon Web Services. That's a certified developer. Now we're starting to talk about the cloud, and everybody, whether you like it or not, a lot of applications and a lot of business processes are moving to the cloud, and Amazon Web Services is one of those providers, and they actually offer a certification in that. Then, continuing with the project management professionals, you can get the project management professional, which is a certification, and typically those guys are there to help a company, an organization, an enterprise to develop and implement large and small-scale IT projects. Then back to the Amazon Web Services, they have a certified solutions architect. So your solutions architect would be the guy who would help architect all the equipment that would be needed to support the business requirements and business solutions, and then we fall back to the certified developer who would maybe be out there writing the code and actually the person with the sleeves rolled up getting the work done. And then at the top of the list is a certified in the governance of enterprise IT, which is basically enterprise information technology governance. That's keeping track and making sure that we're adhering to all the laws that we need, all the best practices that we need throughout the industry. Next slide, Debbie. I kind of threw this slide in to be maybe a little bit humorous, and so why do you get a degree if you can make good money with a certification? Well, that's just think about it. What do you want to do with your career? The people who have the Network Plus, Security Plus, those are your technicians that are creating accounts, setting up user accounts, setting up firewall rules and stuff like that. But they spend all of their time working grassroots levels on the computer keyboards and monitors, and that's great work. It's great paying work. It's fulfilling work. I've been there, done that. But usually, if you want to climb up the corporate ladder, you'll find out that the people who have certifications only are typically working for people who have degrees. Okay, and so that's why I put that statement in there, because people with certifications work for people with degrees. And you'll also find that as you grow up, there's cybersecurity management in corporate in corporations. They have officers like the CISO, the Certified Information Security Officers, and the CIO, the Chief Information Officers. You will find that these people probably have a master's degree, at least an MBA, maybe their master's degree in cybersecurity, as well as a couple of certifications. So again, long term, you kind of want to think about getting both the certification and the degrees. Okay. So next slide, please. So what do you need to look for when it comes to a university of higher education when you're looking to get your degrees? Okay. First off, it'd be real nice if you can find one that's accredited by NSA and the Department of Homeland Security as a CAE, it's Information Assurance and Computer Defense Institution. I'm proud to announce that Webster is in the process of applying for this certification. It's a tough certification to get. You can't. A university cannot even apply for this certification until their program has been in existence for at least 3 years. So that's why we're just now getting our application together. You want to make sure that there's an interdisciplinary program across different but related fields like computer science, engineering, and management. So our cybersecurity degree is based with the math and computer science department. We also have an MBA degree that has the certificate in cybersecurity threat detection. So we're beginning to add our certificate to some other fields as well. You also want a curriculum that does both technical and theoretical issues, and we try to do that. We're in the process of getting ready to develop a new hands-on lab that we can not only have access to here in the Metro St. Louis area, but we'll have it virtually set up so that all of our master's classes throughout the Webster world will be able to dial back in and use our virtual networks. So we want to make sure that you have courses on management and information security, good related topics, effective governance. We talk about the NIST standards a lot. We refer to the DoD risk management framework a lot because they're good frameworks to be used. You want a faculty composed of leading practitioners. I've been in the field, in the cybersecurity field for a couple of decades now, and we've got we have a faculty member who teaches our online space protection course, who's actually a top-level manager at NASA. Okay, we have our cloud computing instructor has written 10 or 15 books on IT in general, and he's got 3 or 4 published on cloud security. So we have several professors that are putting out publications. So our faculty is doing pretty good there. We want a hands-on learning environment that kind of goes with both the technical and theoretical issues and goes back to the lab work I was talking about. A place that's got both undergraduate and graduate degree programs. As I said, we started off with our graduate program. We've since added an emphasis to our undergraduate program, and in fact, our students who get their bachelor's degree in computer science with emphasis in cybersecurity get 6 hours of credit if they continue on for their master's degree. So we've got those loaded up. That our graduates of programs are placed in private and public sector positions. We have several, some of our graduates that have gone on to work for NSA as well as the higher positions within the Department of Defense. And being located here in St. Louis, we've got people who down at the Federal Reserve Building as well, and federal court buildings that have our degrees, and a diverse student body offering educational opportunities. Webster touts itself as a diverse university, and I don't think there's a problem there either. Okay. Next slide, Debbie. So at this time, I would either like to open myself up for questions or open it up to John Link for him to talk a little bit about his office within Webster University, and then we can do more questions and answers. John? John?
John, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Can you hear me? Wonderful. So thank you, Paul, for that introduction. My name is John Link, and I am the Director of the Career Planning and Development Center at Webster University, which is located at Webster's flagship campus in St. Louis, Missouri. The Career Center at Webster is staffed with advisors who do serve as career development specialists and assist students develop the skills and confidence necessary to succeed. Students can meet individually with their career advisor. If you're here in the St. Louis region, you can come in person. We often meet with students at the graduate level by phone or video conference and discuss a wide range of topics, including, what could you specifically do with your Master of Science in Cybersecurity? If you have some ideas in mind, how are those going to be bounced off of what maybe you are looking to advance your career, what interests you're looking to excel with that added degree? Targeted and employment search strategies and resources, preparing customized resumes and cover letters for those opportunities, networking strategies and LinkedIn profile development, and interviewing resources and practice. So there's many different areas that our students often seek support with a career advisor who specializes in the programs that you all may be interested in. And to assist students anytime, anywhere, the Career Center at Webster uses Handshake, which is an online career management and recruiting platform that is used by our students and alumni of Webster University. And it's important to mention that unlike most universities who offer those services to students while they're enrolled, Webster allows students to access Handshake for a lifetime, so they can continuously engage with employers who specifically are looking to recruit students and alumni of Webster University. And it will enable you to manage your job search and many other aspects of your academic and professional careers, including jobs that are tailored to your specific interests. They have this great online onboarding process that allows students academic and career interests that they specifically have, what geographic locations that they may be interested in exploring employment opportunities in. Also, a personalized feed and custom recommendations. There may be recruiting events in your geographic area where those employers indicate they're looking for students or alumni who have cybersecurity credentials, and that was captured within your profile because you've been able to focus on how that profile will communicate those specific career goals with your cybersecurity degree. Employers who are eager to connect with students in your degree area are very interested in seeing what you are eager to apply from what you're engaging with in your classroom and your studies. So as indicated by Paul, the growing demand of cybersecurity professionals is definitely something that we're going to see more and more and more of as the years come. So how can you set yourself apart and make yourself more marketable for those opportunities when the employers are ready to connect with you? And a one-stop shop for all career building and employer relations needs. As mentioned, you can work with a career advisor who will give you that one-on-one attention that you would want to seek guidance on in a number of areas, but you also can work on the employer side and see what employers are interested in hiring you. And I do get many questions about student outcomes, and as Paul mentioned, the program is fairly new. However, we have seen a strong student success rate of the graduates of this specific program. As recent as 2015-16 graduates of the Master of Science in Cybersecurity has a professional success rate of 94%, indicating that 94% of the students who graduated from the program indicated that they have gained employment within their area of interest. So that area of interest would include their cybersecurity knowledge as a leading area or leading interest as part of their job search, or any sort of promotion that would require that specific specialized knowledge. This means that students are obtaining that knowledge that they need in the classroom, receiving support from the faculty in the program, and then connecting with their advisors who can offer additional support to help them achieve their career goals. So I know that was kind of a hybrid version of how our office of many different career advisors can aid students once they're enrolled and after they have completed their degree in their career and professional success. But I am available to answer any questions, as well as Paul, as he indicated as well, about the cybersecurity program and how in the Career Planning and Development Center we assist students individually with their success. Paul, I'll turn that back over to you, and we'll field the questions as necessary.
There you go.
Okay, so who's got questions? Hello?
Doesn't anyone have a question?
Oh, can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, my name is Carolyn Moore. I have a bachelor's degree in information sciences and computer technology. I have not worked in the IT field. I currently work as a customer relations with Spectrum, doing the internet and phone repair. And so I'm trying to get them to, get the education funded through them. I'm kind of trying to figure out what, I guess I would need to start at a basic level. My programming, I know how to program a little bit in Python, but I don't know if that's really related to this profession. But I was considering doing the MBA with the emphasis in cybersecurity. Would that give me the skill set that I need to find employment?
Well, the MBA skill set itself, that obviously that's about business administration, so it would help you with the company side. Now, our certificate in threat detection has 4 classes in it. You take one class, which is our 5000 introductory class, and then you take a class in critical infrastructure protection, one in law and policy, and one in threat detection, and that gives you your certificate. So that would give you a good, well-rounded introduction into cybersecurity. By itself, would that make you a cybersecurity expert? Not necessarily, but it could show potential to your employer that you have the capability to learn and go into that.
And that was actually a really good question. From the career development component and the work that you're currently doing, there are ways that you can look at some of the skills that you've been able to apply through your current position and then use that as kind of a stepping framework for how you can advance possibly further with that specific employer, but also all of the experiential learning that happens inside of the classroom through the projects that you are working or will be working through as part of your degree are all marketable areas that you can include in application materials and then speak about when you are ready to interview for those openings once they're presented. So I think that, as Paul mentioned, the curriculum is so rich with great application components that you're going to be able to even just use some of those key areas of project and knowledge to market those skills that you've developed to those employers and to those jobs that you're interested in most.
Okay, thank you. I have one more question. Cybersecurity is one area that I'm interested in. I was interested in also database, like database management. Is there anything in the cybersecurity field that deals with databases specifically?
Well, in cybersecurity, we do talk about database protections and schemes and things of that nature as we talk about data protection. But I think what you're interested in is more along the lines of data analytics. And Webster has recently started a master's degree in data analytics. So I would ask you to check back with maybe Debbie, our host for the Webster Online Admissions, and go to our website and look up data analytics. And I think that's probably what you're looking for. We have several times I've had extensive discussions with senior level managers about protecting. They understand about how to protect the data. They understand it needs to be protected. Okay, but in some cases, what they really need is somebody who knows how to take the data and do the analytics on the data so that they can make sense out of it. So I'd take a look at our data analytics or some other data analytic type degree programs.
Currently in online, we just have the undergraduate program in data analytics. We
Okay.
don't graduate yet. No.
Carolyn, are you looking for online?
Well, I'm open to both. I mean, I can go to the classroom or online, whatever I can fit into my schedule.
Okay. Well, like I said, we have the data analytics online right now at the bachelor's level.
All righty. Thank you for answering my question.
No problem.
From what I'm seeing, the Master's in Data Analytics is only available right now in St. Louis. Are you in St. Louis?
Okay.
Yes, I am in St. Louis. Yes.
Great. Okay. There you go. Anybody else?
Hey, yeah, this is Tiffany. I have a question.
Sure, Tiffany. What would you like to know?
Okay, y'all kind of answered one of the questions for me because I actually started pursuing the CISSP as far as preparing for it, and I kind of was trying to decide between whether I should complete a master's program or complete that. Because right now I currently work I work for Wells Fargo, but my group is the Enterprise Information Security Office. So I have a bachelor's degree in business information systems. So my role is kind of I'm a certified Scrum Master. However, we're like on a we do waterfall. We don't do method right now. So I haven't even been able to work in a Scrum environment, in an Agile environment, excuse me. So I guess I'm trying to understand, like, as far as transitioning into, like, what direction should I go, trying to get more into the cybersecurity side of things. Right now, I just do more of, my role is that I'm in now is it's some production support, it's kind of some business analyst work, but it's more of a technical analyst role, but you're doing like some project management type work too as well.
So you are working in their information security department?
Correct. I'm a consultant in the group.
Okay. Well, if you've already got a bachelor's degree and you're currently working in information security, the master's degree program might be a good path for you, because once you get through it, then you know you'll have a certain amount of knowledge, and although we don't specifically teach the CISSP, you're going to learn a lot of things in our program that will make, when you study for your CISSP, make more sense.
Okay, yeah, that answered my question. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Was that Tiffany that asked that question?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna send you a chat question.
Okay.
And Paul, we have another question for you.
Uh-huh.
This person is currently a student at Webster in the cyber program, and they're wondering if graduating without the NSA or DHS accreditation in place will affect his ability to find a job.
No, it won't affect your ability to find a job. In fact, what'll happen is that once we get that certification, it kind of becomes retroactive, and unless people know, you know, hey, I got my degree from Webster University, and they're certified. So I don't see how it's going to prevent you from getting a job at all.
From some of the statistics I've seen, there are so many jobs and so few people to fill them. Who else has a question? No? Okay. Hold on a moment. Someone wants to know what the ETA is on the NSA accreditation.
We will put our application in. Our goal is to have it submitted by the 15th of March, although we have until 1 April, so we're giving ourselves a couple of panic weeks there. So we'll submit it, say 1 April. I believe we'll know within 90 days.
Okay. And would you recommend getting a Security Plus Postmaster's? You want a job with the DoD?
If you're wanting to go to work for the DoD, you're probably going to either need the Security Plus or a CISM. The CISM works well too, or the CISSP. The beauty about getting the Security Plus first is the fact that you kind of get it's based upon technical criteria and a lot of technical questions that, and some of those domains will overlap with the CISSP. So when you go to study for your CISSP, maybe it won't be so hard. And CISSP is not hard to study for. It's just a very grueling test because it's scenario based.
Does anyone else have a question? Okay, we have a question. Is Webster working with those organizations that issue the certificates to help with prep and access to their resources?
Okay, could you ask that again?
Okay, is Webster working with those organizations that issue the certificates to help with prep and access to their resources?
Yes, because the first thing that we have to do is to let them know that we want to go for it, and then they assign us a mentor who mentors us through it. So we have our project lead, or I guess we could affectionately call him our Scrum Master. He talks to NSA people weekly.
Great. Any other questions?
Hey, Paul, my name is Joe Whitaker. I had a quick question, not to take the focus off of Webster, but have you ever heard of a program out there called SANS, Institute of Technology? And if so, what can you tell us about that and how it's different from Webster?
Are you talking about the SANS, S-A-N-S?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, they're very reputable.
So do they have their accreditation?
Yeah, their accreditation is very good too.
Okay.
If you look at the DoD 8570's got several charts out there, and the SANS, their certifications are, I believe, listed there as well. But it's just that for some reason the government picked on Security Plus and CISSP and CISM and some of those. But any education that you can pull out of the SANS Institute, it's wonderful education. They got great resources too.
Thank you.
What else can we help with?
What's the average number of students per class?
Face-to-face classes usually run between 10 to 12. Online classes, we cap those out at a maximum of 20, but most of the time they pull in about 14 to 15 students per class. The 5,000 class seems to be our introductory class seems to be the most popular, so we'll fill up a couple of sections of that, and it's got 20 students per class.
Well, if we don't have any other questions, I want to thank everybody for participating. It's been an enjoyable hour talking about cybersecurity and career options. If you have any questions of me, I'll put
I put my email into the chat box. If anybody wants to look down to the chat box and take my email address with you, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to send me an email, and we can I can make sure I answer them, and in case you were didn't want to get your specific situations talked about in public.
And if I can help with admissions, I put up the Join Us account. That's my department email. Feel free to contact us there. And you want to know will we email the slides? I can do that, Joe. Anything else? Well, thank you all for taking the time to be with us today.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Help with anything, you've got a way to contact us.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great evening. Bye.